Tonight we have a CBS 7 special report. Jim Henry really needs no introduction. Midland businessman, philanthropist, overall good guy. Very soon he will add something else to his resume, children's book author. My partner Tatum Hubbard sat down with Jim, his wife, and his partner to the project to find out how this adventure came to life. Tatum?
Jim Henry is, by all respects, a pioneer in the petroleum industry. But at 81 years old, he's taking on a new project, one that he has been developing his whole life.
We first started telling these stories. I was born in Antigua, Colombia, and in the jungle up in the Andes.
The perfect setting for what would become a long family tradition of storytelling.
We would get in bed at night, my sisters, two sisters and I, and he'd tell us Willy Nilly stories.
Jim Henry's father first imagined the smart and mischievous character Willy Nilly, and years later, when Jim and his wife Paula started their own family, those adventures came to life for a whole new generation.
It was a ritual. It was, get ready for bed and get in bed, and then you have your story.
And if I didn't follow it exactly, the kids would correct me.
But it was his sister-in-law who planted the seed for this latest endeavor.
Paula, where do you buy those books? I can't find them about Willy Nilly. And I said, oh, Gina, those are just stories that Jim's telling. They're not books.
That thought inspired the family to begin documenting the stories. Each night, the grandchildren would pile onto the bed, and Jim would use his tape recorder to capture the latest developments in the adventures of Willy Nilly and Thumper.
And during the night, Will Thumper looked up and there was a pair of eyes looking at him. Next morning they got up and they saw cheetah tracks there. So Willy and Thumper started running fast.
I try to always incorporate enough adventure to keep them from going to sleep. So.
Over the next few years, they recorded more than 150 stories. And then, following a principle that served him very well throughout his career,
if you're going to do it, just do it right. It has to be done right.
Jim assembled a team of professionals to create a series of children's books.
Fiery lightning darted across the sky, and Willy Nilly and Thumper began to doubt they would make it back to the Queen and Princess at all, let alone in time. They had to be there about sunset.
The Adventures of Willy Nilly and Thumper is now available in bookstores and online. Although he says it wasn't his intention, within each adventure comes a life lesson.
Well, Tatum, the actual truth is no. I wasn't trying to teach them, but it just comes out in the stories. They always try to do, Willy and Thumper always try to do the right thing, as I try to teach the kids to do the right thing.
Couple that with the educational component at the back of the book that offers an explanation for many of the concepts the children have just read about, and it's easy to see why the series is getting rave reviews from parents and educators.
Those characters may be a dog and a rabbit named Willy Nilly and Thumper, but really, those stories are Jim. The minute you lay eyes on Jim, you know he's something special.
Oh, I'm very proud, and I think, here's an oil man, an engineer, but yet there is this side of him that who knew that it would result in publishing books.
Yes.
I have to say, that is the neatest family, such a neat man. And one of the really cool things that happens when you read this book with your children is it creates this opportunity for you to interact, and you have a chance to ask the kids, so what do you think would happen next in the adventure? And Jim says that's how he sort of developed the stories as well.
And who would have thought he'd be writing children's books?
Oh, just such a cool story.
It's fun to listen to him read it, too.